How's it rockin', Dween Nation? You're listening to the Dween Sports Podcast. We're about to get underway. But before you give us a listen, we'd love if you could like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are posting weekly sports content, and we want to build up the brand that is Dween Sports. Thank you all, and enjoy. Welcome in, Dween Nation. This is your host, Justin Paez, alongside Janoah Agudelo, and we are here to discuss Week 9, and we have some game predictions. As you know, we do this at the fastest rate possible, our rapid-fire game picks for Week 9, so we're really excited to do everything on that, get to discuss all 15 games this week because we have two teams on bye, and the Steelers and the 49ers. But before we dive into that, how you doing, Janoah?
Yo, Dween Nation, how's it going? Justin, how you doing, my brother? It's I'm losing track now. We're week 9, 8? What's going on here, Justin?
Crazy.
This year's flying by. We're little by little, the playoff picture is coming into form there. And so, hey, so excited with what's to come. We had some sad news that my, Stephon Diggs from my Houston Texans is out. So maybe I'm not doing too well, Justin, but gladly enough, I get to come on in here and we can do some rapid predictions, so rapid fire picks. And so I'm ready to get on that, and it's going to be an exciting weekend.
Yeah, man. There are always injuries every week. This one's particularly tough. Texans trade for Diggs, and then a non-contact injury. Everybody just about knew what had happened, but then it comes out, I believe, on yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's dig into the game predictions, though. The fun part of the episode. As usual, I'll go first. You got my timer set?
Yes, I do. I think you were at 125 last week because this is what I had recently.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So let me clear it off for you, and then I'll count you down. So if you're ready, I will count you down here.
All right, count me down. Wait.
All right.
Wait, let me make sure. Okay, I was 11-5 last week.
All right, let's do it. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right, I was 11-5 last week. We're going to do even better this week. I'm going to start on Thursday night. Houston goes into MetLife. I'm going with the Jets winning a big game. Then we move to Sunday, Dallas at Atlanta. I'm sticking with Atlanta. Miami at Buffalo. Buffalo owns Miami. We'll stick with Buffalo. Vegas at Cincinnati. I'm going with the Bengals. The Chargers at Cleveland. I think Jameis Winston keeps it rolling. Cleveland gets the victory there. New England at Tennessee. I'm going with Tennessee. That's going to be the ugliest game of the week. Then we got the Commanders at the Giants. I have an upset alert. I had the Giants winning at home. They're projected. They're +4 right now, so I got the Giants. We got the Saints at the Panthers. I'm going with the Saints. Broncos at Baltimore. I think Baltimore steps up after losing last week. Then Jacksonville at Philadelphia. Jacksonville's very short-staffed. I got Philadelphia dominating. Chicago at Arizona. Chicago continues to struggle out of the bye. I'm going Arizona. Detroit at Green Bay. I kind of expect that Detroit will win this game on the road. Then we got the Rams in Seattle. Come to find out, the Seahawks have never beat a Matthew Stafford-led Rams, so I'm going with the Rams. Colts at Minnesota. I'm going with Minnesota. And Tampa Bay at Kansas City. Kansas City stays undefeated.
All right, Justin, 109 there. All right, you were at 125. And do you remember what your time was 2 weeks ago? We had John Michael and JoJo on. I think you were at 150 or
it was like 145, I think.
145. So damn, 109. I think our first ever time doing this, we were at 109, 105.
Yeah, might be a record.
Cool. I'll go ahead and do my picks, and then we can go ahead and discuss on what we're thinking here. So whenever you're ready, I'll let me pull this up real quick. Cool. All right. When you're ready, I'm ready.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so we go to Thursday night here. My Texans going a trap game, and they lose there at MetLife. The Jets win. Then we go to Atlanta. I do think that Kirk Cousins has a great game, but give me the Cowboys there. They need a win. I think that they still win there in Atlanta. Then we go to Buffalo. I think they dominate Miami. Give me the Bills. We go to Cincinnati. They dominate the Vegas Raiders. Give me the Bengals. We go to Cleveland, where it's actually a trap game for the Chargers. Give me the Browns. Jameis Winston again at home. Then we go to Tennessee, the battle of the bottom two teams there in the draft order. Give me the Titans there at home. Tony Pollard runs wild. We go to New York there. I'm actually going to go with Washington, but the Giants still put up a fight, but still give me the Commanders. We go to Carolina. They pull off an upset. They beat the Saints, who are struggling. Give me the Panthers. We go to Baltimore, it's actually a very close game and a potential shootout, but give me the Ravens there. Lamar Jackson solidifies himself, continue to be the MVP of this year. Then we go to Philadelphia. They dominate Jacksonville. Give me the Eagles. We go to Arizona. It's a tough defensive game there, but actually give me the Bears with their defense sneaking one there on the road. Then we go to Green Bay. I think Detroit's defense dominates here. Whoever's starting quarterback for Green Bay, give me the Lions. We go to Seattle. Geno Smith still sucks. Give me the Rams. We go to Minnesota there for Sunday Night Football. A close game that people think. I want to go with Indianapolis, but you know what, Justin? Let me go with the Vikings. They've lost 2 straight. I think they win this one at home. Then we go to Kansas City. Easy W for the Chiefs.
Wow, 132. Not bad, not bad. We got some
Yeah.
differing takes on this one. I think there's the Giants game, the Falcons game, and the Cardinals game. Those are
Yeah.
3. So it's less. Oh, and the Saints game. So we got 4. That's pretty good on that one. I think I'm kind of relying on the hopes that Derek Carr might be returning for the Saints. Otherwise,
Oh.
I could flip on that take because Panthers are home. I feel like Bryce Young just needs a win. He needs to get a victory. And now, I mean, obviously they won't have Deontay Johnson any longer with the trade to Baltimore, so that's kind of tough. But they might be getting Adam Thielen back this week, so I could see myself flipping, depending on if Derek Carr returns. I'm interested on your thoughts with that Washington game and the Giants.
So, Justin, one of the things about the Giants is they're actually a really good defense. It's just that Daniel Jones doesn't give them enough opportunities, enough points on the board for that defense to hold it down. And you know what? Next year, the Giants are going to be really good. But for right now, I can see them kind of putting pressure and kind of disrupting Jaden Daniels. I do think that if you have another quarterback, I'm not saying to sit Jaden Daniels, but he's a little bit on a sit alert. Obviously, you're still going to start him. He is the rookie of the year potentially there. But the Giants, their defense is real tough. They're led there by Dexter Lawrence. If you saw what happened on Monday night, you could make the argument that if Daniel Jones put up a little bit more of a fight, potentially, the Giants could have won. And you know what, Justin, they do have a star now running back there in New York to, now that Saquon is gone. And this Tyrone Tracy, he is questionable going into this weekend. But if he plays now, he's a, high-end RB2 there, Justin. And I like what I'm seeing out of Tyrone Tracy. I think that they should kind of, put Singletary on the back seat and kind of just give all the touches there to Tyrone Tracy. I think all fantasy managers would love that. And I think that the Giants fans would love that as well, too. And if they can get Tyrone Tracy rolling, I believe that they could upset, Daniels there. Not to mention, they are kind of off that high from that Hail Mary victory against the Bears, which what transitions to the next matchup, we kind of have a little bit of difference on there with Arizona and Chicago. And I do think that the other side of things is that, Chicago is really ticked off on what happened last week. They are a pretty good defense. And Arizona, they are coming off their victory high of last week. So I feel like, both sides kind of matching. I do like the Bears kind of sneaking one off. Kyler Murray is very on and off this year, Justin. He has a good game, he has a bad game, he has a bad game, he has a good game. We're not sure what Kyler Murray / Marvin Harrison we're going to see, Justin. And as much as I love Kyler Murray, but this Cardinals offense is so inconsistent. I'm a little worried against this Bears defense. I mean, what do you think, Justin? I mean, do you think I have a point here? I mean, this Bears team coming off an ugly, shocking, heartbreaking loss. They go to Arizona, who just won off a game-winning field goal in Miami. I mean, do you think it's kind of rooted for the Bears to potentially win this?
I think that you make very valid points. The defense has still been very good, and they almost went into enemy territory and won. It was just like a tip pass that that caused them to lose that game. I mean, they came back in the game too. Washington was up. So if you really look at that game, like they didn't on offense they didn't look very good, but their defense is still carrying. On the Arizona, like to discuss with Arizona, it's the fact that we finally for the first time this season have seen consistency for 2 weeks in a row. It had not happened this year yet with Kyler Murray and this offense. So to see it happen 2 weeks in a row has me kind of continuing on that track that, hey, maybe this could be something that can happen further on in the season. And they're home, not in like cold Soldier Field. So I see the possibility. I definitely do. And then you took the words right out of my mouth with the Commanders. I think they're coming off that, high energy, big touchdown to win a Hail Mary victory. And they always play the Giants fairly close. I mean, over their last 9 matchups, 6 of them were decided within one score. So they're always close games. Now it's in MetLife. I think that's going to give them the edge. But I mean, obviously the Commanders have been playing levels better than the Giants this year.
Yeah, I think that, like I mentioned, the Giants' defense it's getting better. It's looking good. Obviously, they let the ground there. They did have a punt return touchdown scored on them last week. So the Giants they just need a quarterback change. Another matchup we kind of are different on is the Saints and Panthers. And I really didn't like the way that Bryce Young was being talked about once Andy Dalton won that game in Vegas back in I think it was week 3. And I'm still a believer in Bryce Young there, Justin. I do think that eventually, not this year, of course, maybe not next year, but Bryce Young does have a future in this league. It might not be with the Panthers, but I am still a believer in Bryce Young. I kind of feel a little sorry for him. I'm rooting for him to get a victory this weekend. The
Mm-hmm.
Saints are struggling, and with Derek Carr or without Derek Carr, with Spencer Rattler, their quarterback potentially, that offense is. I mean, Justin, if I lost like 6 straight in a row, they were hot, 2-0. They were in top 5 to 6 power rankings after week 2 after beating the Cowboys, and Kamara was off to like an RB1 start. I mean, this guy looked like he was going to have a fantastic season, and they had fell off the breaks of this earth. So I like Carolina there. One last matchup before I give it back to you. I do like this Falcons and Cowboys game to be somewhat of a shootout there. I'm really loving CeeDee Lamb in this matchup. I know he had a great game last week in San Francisco, but in a losing effort. So I think he has a monster game and a winning effort. And it's now or never for these Cowboys. I'm going to pick him this week because I feel like they're going to edge one victory out. I do think that this defense is missing Micah Parsons
Yeah.
tremendously, the leader. And just they really need to establish a running game. If Rico Dowdle, I think he should be good to go. I think he should be able to play this game. He only had an illness.
Right.
But Justin, I would kind of like to see them throw in Dalvin Cook. A lot of people have given up on Dalvin Cook, but Justin, that I've always been a fan of Dalvin Cook. I told you in the past years, we've always talked about who we're going to pick number 1 overall in those past drafts. I always said I'd pick Dalvin Cook if he wasn't injury prone. He was a beast in Minnesota. Obviously, things didn't work out last year with the Jets. But I would like to see the Cowboys kind of establish a 1-2 running punch with Dowdle and Dalvin Cook just for old time's sake. I mean, I think they could beat Atlanta, but, Kirk Cousins, he had a great game last week in Tampa. So, I mean, I guess he would have something to say for that as well.
Yeah, no, I before we were gonna close the episode, I was gonna ask what your game of the week was. Would you say it's this Dallas and Atlanta game?
I would say it's actually towards Detroit and Green Bay.
Okay.
But if you want that to be your matchup, I don't know. Do you want to have the Cowboys and is that your matchup of the week? I just love Detroit this year. Any matchup they have, obviously last week they played the Titans, but if they're playing a 4 or 5 win team, I think Detroit is just must see TV week in and week out. So that my game of the week is Detroit going into Green Bay because Justin, I'm very curious to see how Jared Goff is going to perform on the road. And one interesting thing to kind of point out, Justin, is that whoever's at quarterback for Green Bay, they actually still perform well because Jordan Love is great when he's healthy. However, Malik Willis is also really good. It's surprisingly really good backup quarterback, kind of leading them last week to victory. Going in randomly was not expected that Jordan Love. It wasn't a crazy injury. Jordan Love just, I guess, subbed himself out, not AR style, but he kind of, Malik Willis kind of took over. And so whatever quarterback there is taking over for Green Bay, they still have a phenomenal offense. They're home. They got the home field advantage. So I think for me, it's leaning towards that way. But also, like I mean, we can't leave out Arizona, Chicago. But I would say maybe that Atlanta and Dallas could also be a game of the week.
No, I do think Dallas and Atlanta will be a shootout. My game of the week really is going to be on Sunday Night Football with the Colts and the Vikings. Now that we have Joe Flacco, I think it might be more of a shootout than what we maybe originally expected. I think you can start like everybody in that game: Josh Downs, Joe Flacco, Jonathan Taylor, Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, and maybe sleeper starts as like Pittman and Addison. I think they're possible starts. I think this game might get out of hand. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But that'd be my game of the week. But yeah, Dwayne Nation, those are our game predictions for week 9. We're also our games of the week to look forward to in week 9. If you want to have your fantasy players in these games, I think we think a lot of points will be scored, and they're also just going to be must watch 60 minutes of football. But thank you guys for listening. We got more episodes on the way. And Janoah, send us out.
Yo, Dream Nation, this was our rapid picks of the week. Very fun episode there. Go ahead and click above. There's some more videos there out there we have for you guys as we lead on to week 9. They're just unbelievable that we're already at this point of the season. But hey, we need to, feel you guys out there doing sports. So check us out if you need fantasy help, you need some betting help for the line. Obviously, this is our video. But hey, thanks for watching. We love you guys. And as always, peace.